How you? You will lay a desire. Then I'd wear your power. Via get together, this again. I say, oh, me, I'm right. And by doing you, I'm a part of my trade there. Well, on it goes away. Alas, I will that you are not. We say you. Papa Mora get up when anywhere, Mamba Sivole. La rangée parmi nationale, très trop fort. Puis à quoi ben moi c'est sauvé des nouveaux gars. À moi ça il faut. Bien bio. Do ben yo pas pour mon yao. Papa n'y guitare, petit, blazo fait son nid. Kaidaka. Bena paya posa gogo mambo panjagu Apoblo akafwe Kwa posa nyoka fwe Pe afonte mwa bandi yo kwa kle nyukiye Nyonjo si mwe Posu kata tuyo kwe atrinyo diyo Emo o Nese tokan is a poco, where they play. Go on, yeah, I can't salute. What's to a gather to your way? I think on the one. Emo, Nesetoka. Now, with is a poco, where they play. Go on, yeah, can you get? Now, getting your bed when I know sound simply on it. Yeah, I do. Let's do what you just grab it to work. There you go, are you now? Taibo Bodaki, I know we say you over. I want to yoke I need a boy and yes, I'm going to buy the good mwege. Hey, Imo, am I gay? What I want, I guess me, I'm done, and it the boy. Oh, ow. Bobo that you are not with you. So I get them for when you never go. Netoni and Rayo. Hey, are you? Obo just say, oh, yeah, I'm a walking ever. Kaidaka, when it was to work, I go to net in the milk of way. I just know. This is what I say. Taibo, yeah, you like do I name one by one name on tele by Botamu, Kanyada. Planning Papa, Renegation, Bacao Lage, the Pussy Bo, the PSC baby. The 10 years you don't know Moania, there's a Bob was a dressy, Mango, Palipo, Dakiano, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. To a black so say. I just want to lay a bat to an apple, you see you okay. Wait, Ivo, Saibo Boba. In the nigga pop and block where John B. Banglo. On the Kriana walk like a bad day noir. So what say? So, no one you're not really thankful to slay. Say. Bobo that you are not with you over. I'm done it. Where are you? To walk away. I know Russell. They play a gospel. South Africa, your boss, your way. Thank you for your work and my one. I'm the Pope and Yaguba. Don't feel it. I say, oh, Claudio. Say, back in where we are coming. Say, Bobo that you are not with you over. Aba pepo swelu ninde swelu Kwa muzedu mange dota siko bala Kabo nyowa se Pepo swelu muzo bluke Say ya rin se Panye ino Gen mwande ye Nyok mamble yo se mamble ya na o Ariwo ase o Panye Amo amora da o Saibo deki ano ana wisi yiwo Abiso rulo di yo Panye So penu nywe Saibo, ba. Saibo, that young man that will take you. Mop madame le maire, oui, dans your man, don't you? When you know I say, it's a mayo. That was why you also want to. Amora Chinola,
ouais, il a fait une chanson à Mobile Production, voilà. Et Mobile Production, c'est une structure qui est créée pour les jeunes qui sont dans le guémon, pour les jeunes de l'US et tout. Mobile Production est là pour produire les jeunes talentueux, cachés, que les gens ignorent. Donc notre devoir, c'est de produire des talents cachés. Alors, il a fait un son pour Mobile Production.
Arrangé Eric Glodé, le don de Dieu pour la musique de l'Ouest. Je te détesterai jamais. Jamais, jamais, au grand jamais. Mobile Production, Abia Dia Oboa, Amunyadro, moi et toi Pierre. Moye, Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye, à toi Pierre Dia Vele, Pierre, moye, ah Pierre, oui. Ndato Pierre se prononcer, à toi Pierre Dia Vele, à Bossiao, moye, Pierre, moye. Bossa bossa iko moye Pierre ji mo were mandoye mo a Pierre ji mo were mandoye mo eh Pierre we bebe ha ji a were Pierre mo moye o to Pierre moye o to Pierre moye o to Pierre ji a were ba lo poje yo ji a were so no dunia embe Amado, let's appelé. Qui a mon équipe à yon nez, Mawadia, qui va yon nez, qui a pléboné na kanyopo. Si à vous tiena, de kanywe. Kanyon de koga, c'est pas du pléa. Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye, Pierre, mon garwa, oh yawé ça. Moye, Jiblo, no pigeon boba, Yeruno. Ma boye blé, Pierre, moye, mon blé production. Topie, mon blé production. Assez au canon. Yahweh, à quel homme le côté. Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye. Pierre moye, Ericona, Pierre moye, ah Chalicona, Pierre moye, ah to Pierre moye, die na pa yeble, to Pierre die na pa yeble, ah nie Pierre we, ah Pierre we. Pierre moye, Erico jato Pierre Mare bomu jato Pierre Erico de bomu jato Pierre Miomo daka Yo jale ko ye nyowo pa Opa bla ye de nyani ye ble bra kije Dia o ana de bro aja be atia Nyoro agade ke abudi ye Ono homono ne ka double ye Sobo somo soble so danyo Paseble asenyo na yeta esa ye dibo sanere E to Pierre jawe ke To Pierre point son weke To Pierre iwa mopa Kaya no e ka sene la taya mo la osiane To Pierre ki apa ide papa ko Kia o a To Pierre moye Ah tu agba mo e Dibe ko agba mo e you agba mo e Pierre we Pierre you agba mo e Pierre we Pierre mo moye o Pierre mo moye Gayo padà we nembo kango Gayo padà we nembo kango Ah tideji ah tideji we Angela Boutier, Asseo. Mama Sableye, Angela Wene, ye Bobo Pangla Bouye, Angela Wene, Nama Bobo Pangla Bouye, Angela Wene. Angela Dio, Machapa Keyo, Daria Dio. Moye, Angelo, Moye. Oh, Mama Bokembla, Chia, Mama Kemblode, where you. Ah, je sais ma Jackie, je Mama, je sais Tania Kyoto. Handa Nicola, Memotia, Mada Nicola, Tania, Nicola Breto Yamo, Ojuachi, Naipo de Wenge, Black and Black Chili, Agia, Agia. Moye, Piero Moye, 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 Piero Moye, Moye, Ale, Moye, Moye.
Good evening, folks. Samson Toll, LIBERIA Public Radio. We're on it again this Friday afternoon. We're going to have fun together. We say thank you very much for watching and making fool out of ourselves. Why not? We're brothers and sisters that are watching me. Why should I be embarrassed? It really doesn't matter. Thank you. Friday afternoon, we want to welcome all of you. It's going to be a packed show tonight. It's going to be very, very packed, to be honest with you. I'm going to get out of this Boutros Ghali, Kofi Annan type deal. I'm gonna get out of it tonight and step on few toes tonight. No pun intended on my own. Thank you, folks. It's a wonderful thing to have you on. I'm going to be reading the pro-poor agenda tonight. But there are certain things that is happening in Liberia that some of us need to. I need to get involved, not get involved, but to touch it, read, talk about it a little bit because things are getting a little bit out of hand. We cannot have these kinds of things, but I'll come to that. Safety, safety, safety. So yesterday, my wife was driving. She came home. Here comes the light. Check engine lights came up. So I had this machine here that I can plug it in and it gave me the code. So when I did the code, it was spark plugs. And I'm thinking to myself, I've been telling everybody to change their spark plugs, and I haven't even done that. That my light has to come and tell me, give me an indicator, some sort of an indicator from the light to say that I need to change the spark plug. So I went to the store, got the spark plug, changed the spark plug. Now it's gonna take about 2 days or so before the light goes off. But if I have done that when I was warning people to do these kinds of stuff, and I in my own house, I'm not able to do that. That's not fair. I just thought that I throw that in there that if you don't do your stuff, you're not alone. We're all involved, all of us, because we got things to do. By the way, I want to throw that in there. Make sure at this time, those of you that are in the core area what is very core, when you come home, or even when you park your car and you're going to work and you're working at night, make sure you put not cardboard. I don't advise people to put cardboard around the batteries because cardboard has papers, and if you forget, you leave it in there. It's bound to spark plug, okay, and the fire starts. So put yourself a blanket or a towel around your batteries. While you're in there, when you come out in the morning, just remember to lift the hood up, take the blanket or the batteries up, keep the batteries warm, and it will start immediately. You don't want to start begging for people for jump and things like that. And if you're doing a jump, then you need to get a batteries. To be honest with you, I've been there. I know what it is. Okay. Now, winter season. If you're driving, going to work, a long distance driving, maybe more than 2, 3, 4 miles driving, make sure that you know your area. Make sure you know the area where your job is with relationship to your house so that you will be able to show in case you're driving, there's something happening and you need to be to work. So you don't rush yourself, but you know the detour, you know all of the street that are the connecting street, okay, that will take you to your job without any problem. Those are the kinds of things you need to think about and know these areas. Okay, one short one here. Seriously, make sure in your car you have flashlight with good battery. That is water and light. Did I say light blanket? I mean, I've always given you 3 things. Now I'm coming up with 4. I don't know where that one come from. But anyway, I want to thank all of you again tonight. Come with me and let's get the story going. Before I start that, I must warn you tonight. This is not one of those shows where I'm going to do the kumbaya. I'm not going to be insulting people. I'm not even going to challenge people intelligent, let alone insult. I will give my opinion from stuff that I've been reading, and I'm entitled to it. Because these are things I believe that are slowing us down as people. Come on, let's go. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Okay. They said, let me fix my chair because it's going to be hectic here tonight. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Am I okay? Yes, I think. No, not quite. I'll fix my chair. Just give me the moment. Give me the moment. I'm coming. I will get. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm not too comfortable yet. But anyway, as time go by, I will jump out of this chair and make myself comfortable. Thank you very much, folks, for joining us. Let's get the issues and the show on the way here this afternoon. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have you guys tuning in. Just give me 1 minute here. I had this thing going earlier, but it's stopped again. Okay. Oops. Okay. When I get to that, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste your time, to be honest with you. Okay. Before I start, because this is going to be heavy here tonight, before I start, let me just do this here for you very quickly. Before I start, okay, let's do this here very quickly. All right. Now, the issue here tonight is going to be about our country. And I'm not saying that I know how and what to do to fix our country. So that's not what I'm going to be talking about tonight. But it's very important. It's very important that these kinds of stuff, we try to pay attention to these things. These are the little privileges that if we don't take care of, as they seep into our psyche, these things are bound to create conflict among us. These things are bound to create serious issues among us. We can't have that. While we pray for this government to be successful daily, we must also say things if we see things that perhaps are not conducive to the continued development of the country. And from that perspective, I will give you my view tonight. Thank you. Samson Toh. But before I give you my view, let me do this as usual. I'll play the video for where Dr. Weir during his campaign, because I play this video all the time so that people will know that the issue of Dr. Weir and the road network, I feel very strongly that because of what the video that I'm going to be showing you and other things that he did during the election, get his mind so stuck on helping Liberians alleviate some of the road issues. So let me play this video while I'm trying to sum other things up. Samson Toh, Liberian Pub Radio.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you. Man, I don't know what Baba. I didn't finish. Salome is not done. Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold.
Okay, folks, the next video I'm going to be showing you, and the reason I'm going to be showing this series of video, I want people to understand that this is not all just about us. This is about our country. And I think all of us are jealous, not destructive jealousy, constructive. Are jealous that other countries around are improving themselves, whatever little mean they have, but we're not. It doesn't seem like it. And I think Dr. Weir is doing his best to get things going. But I think we, the Liberian people ourselves, need to get ourselves together and help this young man get this country going. So let me play the other video. Now this video is about Ghana, okay, where Ghana is doing their best to improve themselves, okay. So let's watch this. This is, like I said, it's about Ghana, okay, and let's see what they say about Ghana again this afternoon. Sam Sinto, Labron Pub Radio.
Afrikiko Junction, Accra, Tema Motorway. Apollo in the Western region. The police is watching you. Over 1,000 of these cameras have been installed at strategic locations across the country. These cameras have made police surveillance more effective and giving a boost to fighting crime. Playbacks have also been very useful. In this particular case, investigation into a road accident.
Good morning, police emergency. How may I assist you?
These cameras are operated from emergency command centers in Accra, Kumasi, and Tamale that are now receiving a record number of calls.
When the call comes in, the system automatically generates a case form.
The case form is meant to solicit the essential information required from the caller. If it is a motor accident, are there any persons injured? If it is a robbery, are the robbers armed? And so on. All calls can be traced to where they are made. In case a call drops, the operator can call back. Once a call is processed, the information is sent to the dispatch section for patrol teams in the field. One challenge are prank calls that divert attention from real emergencies.
Prank calls must stop. In a genuine emergency, you may not be able to access our emergency command center.
Locating crime scenes promptly is another. Many houses and dwellings in Ghana are located on unnamed streets. This is being addressed by the new GPS address system, which is an integral part of the new emergency response system.
This command center is a milestone along the way of the transformational agenda that the Ghana Police Service has launched. The Ghana Police Service, as I speak to you, is about total number strength of 33,000. For the population of Ghana, the minimum strength should have been 56,000. At 33,000, the police to civilian ratio is 1:848, which is far lower than the UN minimum of 1:500. Therefore, the result to the digital intervention is meant to ameliorate or to mitigate the defect or deficiency or the deficit, which stands at 23,000 police personnel. This intervention, which is going to make it easier for the police to monitor crime and make it easier for people in need to get in touch, therefore making it more efficient for them to check crime, it's a welcome intervention.
Okay.
Folks, Sam Sinto, Labron Pablo, I just thought I'd play that because these are some of the things that get us going. Because we like to do these kinds of stuff for our own people as well. So it is good that we have that so that at least our brothers and sisters will know that, these things are just not things we do and say, oh, okay, what's happening here and what have you. Okay, so these things must be carried out. There's no question asked. There's no question asked. Okay. Okay. So, what the heck? Okay. All right. Okay. Who cares? Who cares? Let's go ahead. But anyway, The point that I'm getting ready to make now is this. I know most of you are all young. However, you're old enough to remember or to have heard Dr. Weah displaying the talent, his God-given talent, by playing football and putting Liberia on the map. He did it single-handedly and put Liberia on the map based on his soccer talent, whatever he was doing. Of course, he was getting paid, so don't tell me say he was not getting paid. He was getting paid. However, whenever when they mention him, the Liberia comes about. He's from Liberia. He's a great soccer player. He's from Liberia. He's a great soccer player. He's from Liberia. Always. And for me, I'm very thankful for that. Because by Dr. We are putting Liberia on soccer, football match, whatever you want to put it on the map, that's also give Liberia some good standing among the people in the international community. Just Dr. We have done a wonderful job. During the election, there was a situation during the election where the parties involved decided that they were going to go to court. Specifically, I believe it was Liberty Party. And on most of my broadcasts, I've always said that the same way that Dr. Weah was able to put Liberia on the map, by Councillor Bronsky going to court, we're putting Liberia on the map from a legal standpoint. If Liberians can adjudicate their own issues with respect to election with no violence and respect the rules of the Supreme Court, the ruling coming from the Supreme Court, respect that put Liberia on the map in terms of legal and law enforcement and what have you. Because the judiciary are people that are supposed to help with the law of the country, the Constitution, interpreting the Constitution. The institution of the Republic of Liberia must not be tinkered with. The institution, the judiciary, the legislature, the executive, those are the three pillars of Liberia for which Liberia stands to gain a lot. And my opinion is this, that those institutions must be able to stand by itself without interfering whatsoever from the other branch or other branches. The institution of the Republic of Liberia is what holding us together. It's like the glue that is holding us together. You saw what happened during the war. From the beginning of the war, it was like certain group with everybody else. And then before you look, they started spreading, gravitating towards their own section. So before you look, the war turned into a section war. I just consider that. Okay? Because of the failed institution, there was no law and order during the war. That's why they call it war. Now we Liberians have fought hard, tried hard to put ourselves back together, and we're doing it. Yeah, corruption is there. People stealing money here and there. It's there. I'm not going to quibble with that. But the institution that's supposed to help to protect Liberians against all kinds of vices, it itself is being challenged. Not just challenged, but from what I've been reading, if these things are true, then we have serious issues. Okay? So, the point here tonight is this. For the past week, Front Page Africa has been beating the drum. I told you before about Front Page Africa, as far as I'm concerned. They're like a two-edged sword. And both edges are very sharp. And that's one thing about Randy Shea, he does well. If he puts his mind on something, this is what I'm going to report on, he's going to report on it. Okay? Now, you might not like it if it's against you. And if it's for you, you think that Randy Shea is the best person in the whole world. And that's what I call a genuine human being. Someone who will report as it is, see what it is and report it, and let the people make the judgment. And I respect him for that. And I continue to say, and I used to say, and I will continue to say this, that people like Randy Shea should be people that we continue to hold and say thank you. Let me go on to my main topic here tonight. The judiciary, specifically the Supreme Court, is being challenged. And if we don't try to make sense of it, if we don't try to bring ourselves to the position of understanding the importance of a Supreme Court, we will have nothing to stand on, my opinion. I read today, say the justices of Supreme Court having sour relationship in Justice Jana impeachment. So right now, according to the paper, they're split. The two women and Jana himself, they're against the Supreme Court and the newer justice, which is fine. But when it comes to the point of what I'm reading, if it is true, that the people are not speaking, then it's going deeper. How did this thing come about? How did it come about? Justice Jennings has been accused of serving certain act. And there are other Liberians who truly believe that they accuse him because he was the lone wolf during the election that said that the election process should be suspended and in fact do election all over. And of course, he was the only person. And that's why you have the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ruling was against him, that they were going to allow the whatever first round stand and let them go for second round. And other Liberians believe, those Liberians believe that the CDC-led government and its people in the House of Representatives decided they wanted to punish him. And according to the story, they decided to bring some sort of an impeachment proceeding against him, wrapped around a cloth of saying he has done something with land and what have you. Okay. So according to this paper, the Supreme Court, member of the Supreme Court, 3 of them, actually 2, because Jana has recused himself. So the 2 ladies are against it, and the 2 gentlemen are for it, for the impeachment process to continue. The Supreme Court Justice himself, his argument is this, that let the process continue. They just started. They haven't even done anything. They have not shown any reason why they're doing this. So let them go ahead and let's find their reason. And if they reason against the law, we can rule against that. And the other justices are saying, no, we shouldn't even allow that to start. Because first of all, they are divided in the House. Remember, Liberian, these are things that if we're not careful, will bring us back down to 0 again. When they went to the legislation, if you remember, according to the story, one of the legislation was on air on Facebook, saying that the chief, the the big guy, Chamber, okay, who is the speaker, decided he was going to only have sedition to make up the rules. He decided, instead of going through the judicial committee, he decided to go and form an ad hoc committee that would make up the rule. And they were all sedition, according to this young man. And the guy was furious. If you watch that video. Situation in the Senate is a little bit better. But there are other senators who believe this thing is not the right way to go. I'm not saying they're right. That's not my argument at all. I'm not saying they're wrong. That's not my argument at all. I'm saying the justice, whatever it is that we consider to be justice, we must respect the rules. Because if we don't, all of these things that I'm planning to do, road design here and what have you, it will be for nothing. What good is the country for development if the people themselves fighting among themselves? What you developing? Who's going to cooperate with you? You're going to develop it and it's going to destroy it? You think the international community is going to look at you? These are the kinds of stuff that I'm talking about. The international community is watching. And if you have these kinds of reports out there in the media, social media, that the justices are not talking, your budget, most of the money comes in that country from foreign investors. And quite recently, there was an issue about investors. And we continue to foment conflict among ourselves. I hope these kinds of stories that are coming out of my country, they're wrong. Because these are not situations that some of us will be happy about. I'm here every night. Sometimes I get about 2 or 3 viewers, but I stay here to promote the agenda. Because I believe strongly that that agenda is like the blueprint. I'm not a member of CDC. I don't get paid. I'm not a member of the government. I don't get paid. But I thought that I use this platform that I have to promote the agenda because I believe in it. Liberian, the remittance we send back home are not enough to feed everybody. So we must, whatever we do, respect the rule and respect whatever it is that we put in place. The rules over there in Liberia, we put that in place ourselves. We didn't go borrow people from the United States to come form to write our constitution. Liberian wrote that. There's another issue that I've been reading. I hope these things that I'm talking about are not truth. There's an issue, according to a report that we've been reading. There's issue between the vice president and the president. Where are we going? And I truly believe, I was at the inaugural program at the stadium when Dr. Weah was speaking. I, Sam Sinto, were there. Thank God that I was there. And everything he talked about are things that will be good for that country. And the thing about the vice president, to be honest with you, I told you guys before and I will say again, that Dr. Weah really didn't need anybody to win that election. Dr. Weah could have gone to Mwemple Way and picked somebody from Mwemple Way, person who cannot even read, and he was still going to win that election. Nothing was going to stop him. But Dr. Weah, in his own wisdom, decided he wanted to pick the lady and work with her. So if this lady is doing things that are not right, the lady needs to be talked to. She's a sister. She's our sister. And some of the things we're reading where people trying to embarrass this is a woman, for Christ's sake. She's our sister. She's our mother. I don't agree with her. I don't agree with her most of the time. When she made her comment, it's our time now, I was furious as well. But that does not mean that she should be embarrassed. People should embarrass her publicly. This is not our culture. That's not how we behave. She's the vice president. The team was elected by the Liberian people. Even if the people, the story we hearing that she has some sort of ambition, she want to be president, that's what, 5 years from now. And we're reading that she's not being talked to by the president. These kinds of stuff, they have the perceptivity, they have the reasoning, they have whatever negative connotation you can think about. These things, that's the end result. Our country is too small. People, the international community will not come to our aid like they did before. In as much as there is in their interest for Liberia to be sovereign, in as much there is in their interest that Liberia stay out of conflict, they're not going to pour money in our country like they used to before. And if we're not able to manage ourselves, the little resources we have, those who have no interest in seeing Liberia going forward will continue to milk that country. So going back again, this is one of the pillars of Liberia, foundation of Liberia, the justice of the judiciary. Every time you read about legislatures, you read how the speaker is manipulating here and there. I'm not too sure how true that is, but this I think that we read. Okay, folks, this is Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I told you tonight that I was going to do something different here. I usually come out here and read pro agenda, just keep reading, But sometimes, what good is the reading if those who supposed to promote this agenda, they're not doing so? They have a conference the other day, I think day before yesterday or yesterday, where the president asked his cabinet to come up with the asset in 1 week. Every one of those people should have their asset declared, or they will be punished, or whatever. That's good. Almost 1 year. Okay. Never. It better be late than never. That's fine. But the point is, we must be able to do things for ourselves with clear understanding of who we are and what we intend to do. Okay? Now, folks, this is Samson to LeBron Pub Radio. I will continue to talk about this thing here because whatever it is that we're doing as the people, we must be able to understand that not one Liberian can move forward without the rest of the people. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how brilliant you are. You can't move this country forward without the rest of the people. That's my opinion. So once again, I want to seriously ask those that are running the country to see reason. To see reason. The justice. Let's trust the justices. If we start bringing things up that are not going to be helpful for the development of that country, we might not blame anybody. This time around, we can't blame CIA. Because CIA, I don't believe they even paying attention to us. But on a very serious note, if there's no understanding among us, as the president correctly stated, those brothers and sisters that refuse to pay their taxes, he said, if you're not paying your taxes, how do you expect to have to be able to bask in the development agenda that we have? If you're not paying your taxes, other people paying taxes, and you're not paying, but then you want to take glory, you want to dance because we're doing development. Where the money coming from? Okay. Yes, another thing that he could have done. The government of Republic of Liberia, instead of sticking with this dual citizenship stuff, you passed a law. Every Liberian outside of Liberia, there's a certain amount of money you have to pay as a Liberian. You pay taxes back home. We say here we run our mouth about Liberia here and there. All we send who is to family member and friends. Let the Liberian government pass the law, Samson to say. I'm sure people are going to be chastising me all day. I don't care. Let the Liberian government pass the law. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't sit here in the diaspora, talk about Liberia, you're not paying no taxes. Let the Liberian government pass the law. Forget about the dual citizenship business. Pass the law and say every Liberian that lives outside of Liberia, this is the amount of money that you have to pay as your part of contribution to whatever it is that we try to do in this country. That's how you bring about development. If you taxing me and not worry about whether I have citizenship from Timbuktu, if you taxing me, once I'm taxed and I'm paying my tax, of course I'll be running my mouth, but at least I know I'm contributing. But we all sit here, criticize, cuss each other on things that we totally have no control. But we sit here, insult, denigrate, degrade, disrespect each other. I said the government of the Republic of Liberia should come out with a process put in place. Say Liberia, because we all love Liberia. We all love Liberia. If you live outside of Liberia and you are Liberian, you pay a certain amount of money yearly, monthly, whatever process it is. Folks, this is Samson to Liberian Public Radio, and I'm just saying these things here because these are things that if we're not careful, they're gonna hurt us. The Supreme Court of Liberia should be left alone. The Supreme Court of Liberia should be left alone. Let them do their job. And the other thing, another thing that I read, according to the Constitution, who's supposed to preside over the Senate? It's the Vice President. But guess what? They tried something the other day, according to the story, that they wanted the Vice President not to preside over the Senate. And there were few senators, according to the story, that said, no, that kinds of stuff would not happen. The Constitution said the Vice President must preside over the Senate whenever she's here. Why are we breaking? This is thing I consider false error. What happened to the $16 billion? I don't know. What happened to the Burkina Faso almost $423 billion? That's a billion. $423 million. I don't know. What happened to the Chinese 500 some more million dollars? I don't know. All because we're not putting ourselves together, thinking things through the same way that we do with the road construction. We want road now. Doesn't matter, forget the process. Okay? And the reason I'm bringing the road issue up because I'm involved. Okay? But those are the kinds of things that we cannot afford to have these things happen to us Because, hey, life is too short. And I'm anxious to make sure that I contribute. There are Liberians in this country that are anxious to help. Liberians in the diaspora that are anxious to help. So on this note tonight, oh, okay. On this note tonight, I was gonna say I was gonna put something there for you to call, but I didn't put that up. So I will go on a commercial break, which I don't have a commercial. I'm just playing music for you because we don't have commercial. We're not making money. Okay, and oops. Okay, so I will okay, I will go ahead and play the music while I put my stuff out, because I like, for those of you that want to call, you can call tonight very early, because I was late coming in anyway, and I'm from this time on I decided I'm gonna keep respect of the time. This is Samson. To folks, it's a very serious business. And here's the other thing here I want to point out very quickly before I go to this break here. Today, former minister Dr. Blabra. Ah, yes. Liberian people say when chicken wet, it wet. This man was part of the past administration. And I'm not criticizing him for him making his view known. But guess what? If I sit here, in as much as I'm involved with the raw business in Liberia, and if I sit here and continue to criticize and not show how these things supposed to be done, then I'm not serious. And especially if I'm given the opportunity to do something in Liberia, and those things are not whatever it is that I'm trying to criticize the government on, and I fail to implement those things. And then when I leave, then I say, you need to do this, you need to do that. Then the point is, the people, I'll question my own sincerity. And that's exactly where we are right now, folks. Okay? And so, let me, okay, right here. Dr. Brabra, it's in Daily Observer, it's in Daily Observer, he said, Dr. Brabra, too many criminals on government payroll. I like the story, though. The story was nice. It was nice. Former Liberian Information Minister Dr. Lawrence Brother has expressed regret over government payment of salary to people he referred to as criminals in government. The LIBERIA just come up today. Okay. This is Samson Toh, Liberian Public Radio. Let me go ahead because I want people to actually participate in the conversation tonight. And so let me get out of here, play some music so that put this stuff out that I want to put up so that people will be able to call you. Samson Toh, Liberian Public Radio. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate it. That's your number. Give us a call here, and let's have it going. Very serious now. Give us a call, and let's go. This is Samson to LIBERIA Radio. I'm trying to just straighten things up here. But anyway, give us a call, 916-533-2048. It's on there. If you can reach us, it's there, I believe. Okay. The number is there. The number is there. Somebody saying, where's the number? The number is there. It's right there. Give us a call, 916-533-2048. Okay. Let's go on. So let me go on, continue to read Bradford. He said, okay. Okay, he appeared on a radio show, that's for sure. Okay. They are stealing. Before I do that, these are some of the things that I keep talking about us having understanding about ourselves. I will read this other story, the very sad story, folks. Those of you that are still with us, we say thank you. It's a very sad story. Okay. This guy, according to the story in Lofa County, his wife's pregnant and she's going to have a baby, and but the husband didn't, not that he didn't trust the system, but he decided he wanted to give us a better care. And they only have, according to them, they only have one hospital, one clinic. Okay, hold on 1 minute, Samson to 11. Samson to Labrador Pub Radio. What's your name and where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yes, I'm calling from Minnesota, and my name is Nathaniel T.S. Robin.
Thank you, Mr. Zobo. Welcome on Labrador Pub Radio. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I listen to Mr. Tool right now, and he said people are willing to go to Liberia, but I just want to find out what really stopping them, those that want to go and help.
What's stopping them?
Yes, people want to go to Liberia to help, but they are saying.
Well, nothing stopping people from going, but just speaking from our own experience, I don't mind going to help, but there are certain things that I would like to see. For example, it is a place that I'm going to be in Liberia, for example. What is the driving condition? Is the roadway safe? And those are the kind of things a lot of people are concerned with. And not only that, they want to go make sure they want to carry some stuff with them. But sometimes they think say when they get there to even start to help, nobody will want to listen to them. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Okay. So let me read this story. Okay. So not that he didn't want his wife to have a baby in the village, but he decided he wanted to go to the bigger clinic. And according to let me read the whole thing. It's a very sad stuff. And these are things that continue to, hamper our development agenda. Okay. Liberia, man drowned while crossing river with pregnant wife to the nearest health facility. Okay. It said Zuba Gaziliza, 38, met his untimely death when he embarked on an adventure to provide quality care for his pregnant wife who had been grabbed by liver pain. So apparently at night the woman the baby ready to come. It was during the early night hours of December 1st, 2018, when the deceased embarked on the journey with his wife, who was in her finished stage of pregnancy. Okay. The couple lived in Goyala and was en route to Bakudu, where the only health facility is located in the region of over 15 towns. Listen to this. And the approximate population of those 15 towns, 13,800. Out of the 13,800, they only have one clinic. Okay. After tracking over 2 hours in the dark with his screaming pregnant wife, the deceased was aided and escorted by a few relatives and residents of the town. Okay, so according to the story, this is on front page, folks. Okay, you can read it yourself. But according to the story, the woman pregnant, she wanted to have baby. Now it's time for the baby to come. And he decided, well, let's go to the clinic. So he's 38 years old. He took his wife. The woman was crying, screaming because she was in labor and walking. Okay. Among them was a trained traditional midwife, identified only as Ma Suni. By 10 p.m., they have arrived at Lofa River, a major water body that forms the boundary between Gayola and Bugalu towns. Okay. Those of you that are from Lofa, you know Lofa River. And I've heard of Lofa River myself. It's a big river. It's not something to sneeze at. Okay. Crossing the river was a heckling tax. Unfortunately, they discovered that the only canoe, folks, 2018. I'm not saying 1847 or 1818 or 1918. 2018. One canoe. I'm from the countryside, my people. And when I was living in Mwepliwe, One of the things quickly they will teach you is to face canoe. Okay? But anyway, I'm not going to go into that right now. Only one canoe to cross in that area. You would think they will have series of canoe. And here's the bad part. This is the sad one. Okay? Crossing the river was a heckling tax. Unfortunately, they discovered that the only canoe commuters used to travel across the two banks of the river was docked across the other side of the river, the Bankudu side. Yeah, the man, he coming with his wife. They get to the riverside, the only canoe they had on the other side. How do they go now? This is a very sad story. Okay, let me go on. After several fruitless calls for help from the other end of the river, the seized Ghazali, who was very determined to see his wife have a safe delivery, decided to swim across the river for the canoe. Okay, now I can swim, but when you swim, especially when you don't, if you haven't been practicing, your muscle cramps up quickly, and you're talking about the current of the water. So I'm not too sure exactly what positions you were in. Perhaps he tried to do this because most of the time, like I said, I live around the river. So most of the time when you swim in this river, then you want to go upstream. You want to swim against the current. So by the time you get in the middle, the current, the water current will bring you while you're struggling to pass that. But by the time you pass the current will bring you straight to the area where you want to go. And then when you cross, you'll be to the side you want to be. So I'm not too sure how he did it. Okay. Yes, a sad thing, folks. This is very sad. Kusuli turned down a suggestion from the midwife who had offered to deliver his wife by the riverside. He then began to swim to the other side of the river to fetch for the canoe when he got drowned. It's in there. I don't want to go through and read the rest of the story. But why? Why do we have these kinds of stuff in Liberia? $25 billion went through the past administration. And people are dying because they don't have no canoe. One canoe. What kind of business is this? And you have brothers and sisters here in the United States. They got the money. People here have money. But where is the encouragement coming from our community? The community organizations, they can't put together to come up with $16,000, $17,000 to buy the boat and identify, especially the brothers and sisters that are from the riverside, identify the area. Okay, this community, here's the boat. We're going to donate this boat to you. If anything, just bring your family or whoever need to go to the house. Especially 13,800 people live in our community. And I bet you the community have relatives. They have people here in the United States. They have people in the diaspora all over that perhaps able to collect money and be able to help these people. That not everything the government will do for us. But we ourselves here in the diaspora, we can't even manage ourselves. We're fighting among ourselves every day. Money, we put money in the bank. The people fight over it. Yes, somebody died. They're trying to help their wife to cross. They got there, the canoe is on the other side. They call and got tired. So the young man said, okay, I will swim. He died. Now, the baby was born that same night. But who's going to take care of the family now? Whereas if people have identified those kinds of crises, the Liberians here, the people from Lofa, I'm sure These people are caring people. I'm sure if they have the opportunity, they will donate for people to buy boat and put a series of boats along the riverside for people to cross from one section to another. In this day and age, one canoe serving over 13,000 people. But we sit here and criticize the government this and this person that and this person this. So folks, these are things that we ourselves, perhaps we need to look into it. And if you're not, your county is not closer to the river. If you're from the countryside like myself, no big water. Well, no, we have access to the river closer, but we don't have that kind of situation. But here we are. This young man died. And I bet you that's not going to be the only person, though. Because there are people that will want to swim across. Think about it. They got one canoe in our area. And just what happened the other night, the canoe on the other side. Why if the canoe on the other side again? What will happen? You want to tell me we cannot identify these kinds of stuff? Say, okay, this community, from here to there, here's a boat. All the community need to do is provide a fuel, and they'll be able to do that and cross people. I'll give you another example. Quite recently, I was talking to my president, a president from Boston District, Mr. J.J. Dennis, and he was telling me some good news today. Through his effort, total, they have 2 water pumps through Mr. Dennis and another brother, another media personality, Otavia Gilman. And I want to thank the brother. I will call him after my show. Call him and say thank you. But they're going to have 2 water pumps in total. These are the kinds of stuff the leadership need to identify and say, what can we do? But yes, a young man died. The same after his death, then the government stepped in. They were able to take the woman to the clinic. The woman had a baby. Why? Why do we have to go through that? You know, sometimes you've been wondering, sometimes you think, why did white people need civil rights? Why didn't they just leave us alone? Some of us will still be wearing bumper, but at least we know we're not confused. I'll be running behind deer every day, every night, trying to feed my family. But at least I know I'm not confused. But we say we want to be civilized. Then at the same time, we're not taking the civilization that is needed to move the country forward. We don't want it somewhere else. We're so confused. In this day and age, what canoe? And here we are, we're talking about people trying to impeach justice, to associate justice. Instead of us putting ourselves together. This is some of the things, the reason why I will continue to talk about these things. Because the people that are leading us, that they are young. They have the strength to do wonderful things for our country. But we must encourage them. Positively encourage them. So they will do stuff for us. But we sit here cussing, doing this and doing that. And the same rumor starting, the vice president want to be president, even 4 years. The vice president want to be maybe 6 years. Why would the president, people, according to the story, the president is concerned, don't want to be, why would you be concerned? If that story is true, you shouldn't be. Because of your popularity. The people that love you in our country, Dr. Weir, are people that are still 35 to 40 years old. So those that are 35 now your next election will be 39 or no 41. Okay, your next election will be 41. Those that are 40 now, your next election will be 46. They're still in their prime. They will still canvass for you. Why are you afraid? Our sisters, this lady, she's our sister. We must show to the international community that we're able to share the platform with the vice president, who is a lady. I saw the picture today. President, we are to push or to punish delinquent officials over the asset declaration. And there's a picture where Dr. Weah sits at the head of the table with all the other ministers surrounding that same table. And I look at that picture, I'm thinking to myself, why don't we have somebody closer to the president? That side of the table, let me put a picture up. That side of the table where the president's sitting, that table, that side of the table is almost like 15 feet. A table so wide. He sit in like somebody who is lonely. So if you're gonna have the kind of, I'm not too sure the dynamic of the makeup of the minister and meeting and things. So I don't know, but I'm just talking from my own side. I probably most likely put a vice president in here and let her sit right there in the meeting with us. Okay, I would have done that. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. Because as Dr. Weah himself stated, we're all connected. You can't treat one person bad and say that thing is not going to, before you look, it's within your own circle. Every one of us are connected. This story that I read here about this young man that died in Lofa County, that's bad. In 2018, one canoe. What? I'm going. No. I have to do this. I usually don't like to do this, but I have to do this. Let me tell you the process of a canoe, making canoe. It's not that difficult. They have certain tree that they use for canoe. The outside of the tree have to be strong, but it has to be soft enough that it can dig inside. And I've seen people making canoe before. So it's not a process that would take 2-3 years to make. And it does not require a lot of equipment either. So why do we have one canoe in our crossing? For what reason? What reason? Why do we have one canoe? For which somebody gonna die. Okay, that's the community. What is our own responsibility as Liberian? What exactly is our own responsibility as Liberian? Do we just sit down and these things happen because it hasn't reached my own county yet? And the sad thing on all these things here, my folks, is this. The community organization that we have here in the diaspora, the Liberian diaspora have money. There's no question about it. You go to some of the community function, they don't pay anything less than $50. And the place usually pack 400-500 people, if not more. So the community, they have the ability to come up with huge sums of money. But where is the leadership? Where is the leadership that you will be able to collect $1 million from the community and say we'll put it in the bank for the leader to hold? They will eat the money because they know nothing you're going to do. Over and over and over and over. We always have money issue. People eating money. And there's nothing we can do. Why is it? Why is it? Why is that we're not able to manage ourselves? if Dr. Weir, I was saying, I told you guys the last, if Dr. Weir was somebody that would come here in the United States and target specific community, take for example Grand Gila, because I'm from Grand Gila, so I'll give that an example, and say, I want every Grand Gileans in 1 year term to give $1,000 because I want to build your role. Grand Gilean will be happy to do that because the road issue is something that really, really hold our boom. And you know, when the brother says somebody turn you hold my boom, it hold my back. Okay, the road basically like bro hold our back, so they will pay. However, in the community, who do we have to give our $1 million to? Who? Which one of you? Not just the Gila community, but any Liberian community. You tell me, who do we have we can give the $1 million to? That's the problem we face. That's the problem we face. Liberians are anxious to help, especially Liberian diaspora. They're anxious to help, but they don't want to just put money in that. They want to see the result. So if Dr. Weir were to come here and forget ambassador and all those kind of people, come here and in the community, Dr. Weir, you take one Liberian in their community and say, you, I'm holding you responsible. I want your people to collect certain amount of money because I want to do this project. They will do it. They will do it. But where is the leadership? Where is the leadership that people are going to gravitate towards? We will just sit down here and talk all day. Liberians, we can't just continue to wait for the government so that we will be able to do things for us. The government will do this, the government will do that. People in the diaspora, Liberians are so blessed. You have Liberians in the diaspora that are willing to help. But because of these different issues blocking us, there's so many ways to make money in our country. It's unbelievable. The guy, yes, oh yeah, the money in our country. When I went home the other day, yes, another thing that I identified, they got these buildings. They got separate tank. The separate tank they made in maybe 60 something. They failed. They cover them up now, so they make another one. You take a septic truck out of here and start collecting the septic tank, cleaning people's septic tank. You're gonna charge them, and you take it into waste products treatment or wastewater treatment, whatever you have. Money. But what are they doing? They don't have people to do that, so they abandon the septic tank and dig another one. Those are the things that's how your country develop. But you want to get out of here and go do business back home. First thing they're ready to do, you're Liberian. If you're not Afro Total, then you're Liberian. If you're not Liberian, then you might get Liberian. So some person say, you know what, forget it. I'm going back. And they come back here and make money. Liberians here are working and making good bit of money. They're not broke. Liberian, you said this coming summer, I hope somebody have the ability to do a statistic of all the Liberian organization. How many dollars do they collect from their membership a year? You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. And what's about these other sexual organizations that go and have the convention and what have you? You'll be surprised if you put the money together. We have the money. Okay? Folks, this is Samson to LeBron Pub Radio. I'm going to take leave of you very early tonight because we have things that I want to take care of. Samson to LeBron Pub Radio. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful afternoon. This is what we do. Somebody was watching earlier. Where is he? Oh, I said Soba is watching. I said Soba. I said Soba. I said Soba. You watching my show? I said Soba. You watching my show? Okay. But thank you, my brother. Thank you for watching. And then again, thank you as well for watching. Canles Bayi, Victoria Kuma, thank you, madam. We appreciate it. Mr. Zanko, thank you for watching. Madam Duo, thank you for watching. Cry, Che Consre, thank you for watching. Okay. God favor, thank you for watching you. We appreciate it. Okay, folks, this is Samson to LeBron Public on a Friday afternoon. I think I'm going to try to step out of the house tonight a little bit. I'm not too sure if she will say yes. Where am I going? That business? Samson too. All right, you just kill it. No, folks, on a very serious note, I'm going to take leave of you here tonight and say thank you very much for tuning in. But on a very serious note, we can't have the institution, before I go, let me wrap it up again. The institution that are holding us together, we must protect them. Because if this thing goes sour on us again, to be able to bring it back is going to be difficult. And the thing that I like about what is happening right now, about what is happening with Liberians right now, is that the young generation are anxious to be involved. Whether they want to eat money or that's not the point that I want to address, because I'm sure not all of them want to take money from people. They are young, they have the energy, and they're willing to work. But the opportunity must be there. We can't have them 2-3 masters and staying here in the United States. Don't get me wrong, they're working, they're making good money. But these people need to come back home. They must be invited. They must be invited. Even if you can't invite them, let the government, the ministry, or whatever, let them come here and put up some sort of a forum. Don't come and just stay in Philadelphia area, talk to 1 or 2 people, and then you call it town hall meeting, and then you move from Minnesota, town hall meeting, 2 or 3 people, and then you say town hall meeting. No! Come here. Spend 2 weeks, more than that, to talk to Liberians. Some Liberian can stay here in this country and help you. They can put policy together. They can stay here, implement some stuff you want, and they will be able to help you. There are Liberians in this country. If you say, I don't have money to pay you, but I want you to help, they will be willing to. They will be willing to help. But as long as you continue to talk to those only you know, will be like this. Folks, it's been a wonderful evening. Let me get out of here. I said thank you very much for tuning into LeBron Pub Radio. Samson Tor. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Let's see how far we're going to go. Okay. Good night, folks. It's been a wonderful evening. Let's do it again Monday. But I'm not too sure Mr. So coming on. He's not been feeling well lately. Hopefully, we'll continue to pray. I spoke with him this evening. He's sounding better now. It's not something bad. That's just cold. It's cold over there in the East Coast. But Mr. So, please hurry up and come back to the mic. We miss your voice. And I will continue to pray for you, my brother. Samson to LIBERIA Radio. I say good night to all of you. Let's do it again Monday. Twins for Mr. Soul. Sunday. Hopefully he will be back. If not, Blaku might be coming in to sit in for it. I don't know who Blaku is, but we'll see. Samson to LIBERIA Radio. Thank you very much. And you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And of course, happy holiday as well. Let's have fun. Please, one thing. Tonight is Friday. If you have to go out, please don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. I'd like for you to come here on my show on Monday and challenge me and say, oh, Mr. Toyi, you're talking all kinds of nonsense, man. We don't want to listen to you. It's better that way than for you to be hurt or worse. Samson Toh. Good night, folks.
play, oh.